This nibble originally aired on RSBNB Update, episode 890, Dungeons and Demons. Enjoy.
Let's do mechanics for both
Yeah.
both mini bosses. Yeah, lots of telegraphs for the pages for mechanics
Yeah.
for both the minis, and then we'll just jump straight into Zami.
Yeah. So of the 9 mini bosses in the dungeon, you only need to clear 3 of them. Or no, we said 2 of them, right? Because that last
Technically,
one isn't...
technically 2.
Yeah.
Although I think
We
all
decided
of us
2.
have been clearing
Yes.
3. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. First one is the jailer, Memphis the jailer.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah,
I guess
that
central
asshole.
part of the city. Teleports away to a point where numerous folks thought that there was a bug when he disappeared.
Yeah. Well, because I didn't realize there was a
Yep.
third story when I first did it. I was so lost. I had to go and have
Same.
several people send me a map of that jail before I realized there's just a whole ass other staircase up there. Oh.
I
Well,
think I
there's-
was one of the people that sent you that.
I believe you were, yeah.
Yeah.
He is time locked at some point where he teleports back to the first spot. Because my
Mhm.
first 2 kills, I sat there and waited for that.
Oh,
I had no clue where he
Oh.
went.
do you know how long it
Interesting.
was?
I'd say 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I did the same one, because I completely skipped going to the other side of the jail. I completely skipped that phase.
Hmm.
And I wonder if I did 2 of those while I was looking it up, being confused. If I just stood there and I had Soul Split on and it just took care of it. It's possible. I turned auto retail on for the dungeon.
Right. Yeah, I remember you telling me to do that. And I think the thing that we should bring up with the jailer and is going to be a recurring theme throughout the dungeon if you're moving through the dungeon is that there are things out there that are going to heal the various NPCs, including this guy.
Oof.
So you got to watch out for what are they called
The Menders and the Life
Menders,
Reavers.
the
And
Menders and the
what
Life-
we ended up doing in a lot of our runs, and I'm sure you've not been doing this, Bears, is going through and just clearing all of the jail. We just empty it before we start killing him because we don't want to be bothered with people. Yeah, no shot.
Yeah, no, I've just been grouping up as many as I can, killing them, and if the door opens, I go through it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Because we would go up and we'd clear out all the Menders around his spawn points so that we didn't have to deal with them later.
That's probably
Try
smart.
to ease it off. I mean, it's one of those things that it makes it a lot more reasonable. If you're Crypt Bloom animate and you're just running around with a staff and blood spells, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You're just fine. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And I think that's the biggest thing I want to say to people for the jailer, both on story mode and normal mode, is that watch out for the Menders, and of course know that he's going to teleport around to the various floors within the dungeon.
he's got an
to-
explosion that turns off your prayers for a couple of other things. But
Yeah.
It's not too
And-
bad. To bring it back to the high scores, a lot of these teams were darting this guy because they didn't want to deal with him.
Wait,
Like-
Shane, what's wrong with me? I've got 30 darts.
Same.
Like, all these teams, yeah,
we
they have
should
30
have
darts.
been
They-
doing this.
But is that
One
worth
person
it?
would go to each location, they just throw a dart. 'Cause it
Oh,
was not
you have to
worth
dart him
waiting for him
for-
to teleport. Yeah,
You have to dart him 4 times. Okay, never mind.
That's not really worth it then.
but it's still not. It still wasn't worth them waiting for him to teleport.
Yeah, they're pushing. They're score pushing.
That's
they don't
true.
have their 25
That's
KC.
true.
They were
They
saving
only
a couple
need.
minutes by doing it.
Yeah, if they've been doing their weekly stuff every week, they probably have 25 darts just laying around. I mean, you don't need to use darts to kill anything.
No.
I mean, Ambassador kind of, but honestly, Zamorak to me, and I'm totally derailing us because now this is another topic, but difficulty-wise, for normal mode, very similar to the Ambassador from my perspective.
Okay.
I think the end, enrage phase of the Ambassador is actually more challenging, but just on the whole, Zami has more HP and a wider variety of mechanics.
Yeah.
But difficulty-wise, I'd put them on par. Somewhere
I would
slightly
too.
above Araxor and sub 100 Telos. Or maybe high 80-90% Telos, definitely above 50.
Yeah. Normal.
Um,
Caveat. Normal, of course.
Well, there's no hard mode Telos.
Right.
But yeah, this is just talking about normal mode for Zamorak.
Yeah. Sure.
So it's it feels eminently doable and not I mean, he's a god, but until you hit high enrages, he doesn't show it. You know?
Yeah.
Very reasonable
Fair enough.
difficulty-wise. And I think they did a good job with that balance. It feels very appropriate given the scale of the encounter.
Anything else on the Jailer?
Probably my least favorite part of the dungeon is going
Okay.
through the jail.
I mean,
By far.
yeah. Have you read through the lore book? Have you found the pages and read through the lore book?
Are you talking to me or
No.
Shane?
Yeah.
No,
yes.
it's not complete.
There's a handful of things. There's those, and then there was another lore book somewhere that I was reading that was like, beware the inmates. Like, the inmates are crazy. We opened up a jail and the inmates are crazy. It might have been in the book. Where it seemed like whoever was writing, whatever I was reading, was definitely in the same opinion of like, oh dear God, the jail.
Yeah.
Like, it feels a little meta. Like, maybe the J-mods were like, we know this sucks. Have fun, kids.
And there was also something
it's
else in
not
the
fun.
jail that was crazy.
Oh, yeah. If you go to the third floor
What
of the
is
jail
this?
and you go into the second cell, you find our friend Mr. Z.
Oh,
Shout out to art by Maud Blackwitch. Well-deserved Easter egg.
The art
And
that
the-
took social media by storm when it was posted, something she did in her
Yeah.
free time.
The
That's
roof
hilarious.
on this room does not come off, even when you're standing under it with
Yeah.
roofs.
So if you're going to want to
So
go in there, free cam it.
you actually have to you have to actually like zoom in your camera when standing in that room in order to see it. But
or free cam it like I did.
shout
hilarious.
out Maud Blackwitch. Shout out to whoever. I mean, she is the environment artist. If she stuck that in there just as an Easter egg, kudos.
I love it.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan.
All right.
But lovely.
You can find full episodes of RSPMB Update right here on this YouTube channel. If you found this video useful or just enjoyed it, like and subscribe, or leave a comment.